Hello everyone, and welcome to my BNB24 official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Steffy makes a fool of herself and rages at Deke for stealing Eric's designs. According to spoilers on the bold and the beautiful, Steffy Forrester Finnegan may accuse Deke Sharp of stealing FC designs. If such is the case, Steffy would be mistaken to believe that Eric Forrester has joined the rival fashion firm of Katie Logan Spencer. Rich Forrester, Eric's sardonic son, wasn't very grateful for the line he designed for Forrester Creations. Rich surprised Eric in these two butt heads with a retirement celebration. Steffy saw the designs but Rich did not. However, she believes that Eric ought to step down and let her and Rich handle the day-to-day operations of FC. Even John Finnegan, her husband, believes Eric ought to resign. Is the program moving forward with this storyline twist as Eric is unaware that Steffy saw his amazing designs? Of course, perhaps. Eric's work will obviously not be carried out at FC. It makes natural that he would go to Katie's new fashion firm, where he is valued. However, given that Eric founded FC and his family is carrying on his heritage, that would provide challenges. However, he would continue to do what he loves and see his creations respected if he worked anonymously for Katie. We may picture Steffy assuming that the younger man stole the older man's ideas if she sees Eric's work on the runway, and it is attributed to Deke. Naturally, Steffy has every right to complain if she believes that business espionage is taking place. Additionally, we are all aware of how boisterous Steffy can get when she is feeling self-righteous. However, she would be completely incorrect in this hypothetical situation. How far would Steffy go to protect Eric if she believed he had been robbed? This is simply conjecture at this time. Eric would have to acknowledge that the designs are his and not stolen if she threatened to sue Deke. Juicy spoilers for the bold and the beautiful suggest that Steffy's knowledge of Eric's design sketches may cause problems. We'll keep you informed as soon as we learn more. The conflict between Brooke and Katie turns into a trademark battle. Katie had no claim to the Logan name according to Brooke, who took a firm stance. Anything pertaining to Logan was actually called Forrester, Katie retorted. Brooke wasn't really recognized as a Logan. It seemed reasonable when she informed her sister that her brand was named Brooke's Bedroom, not Logan Lingerie. The whole back and forth seemed ridiculous to Katie. Donna asked them to put an end to their arguments and come up with a name that suited everyone. Brooke believed that dropping the Logan name was the only way to solve the problem. She informed Katie that she was the only one everyone knew, and that her name had no significance in the fashion world. The only name that mattered was Brooke Logan. Katie begged Brooke to consider how offensive this was to her. Bill disagreed that Logan and Logan designs were the same, despite Ridge's assertion that it was a legal matter. After repeatedly helping Brooke, Katie felt disrespected because her sister was unable to repay the favor. Declaring that the conversation was over and that changing the name was the only choice, Ridge stormed out of Spencer's office. After Ridge and her sisters left, Katie started crying. Bill did his utmost to reassure her. She yelled that she was the reason Brooke had remained relevant in the industry for the previous 10 years. Katie felt that Brooke's claim to be the exclusive owner of their shared last name was unfair. As Liam walked into the office, he was struck by the depressing atmosphere. He was curious if the new fashion house was called Logan, and he thought it was fantastic, comparing it to some of the most well-known names in the business. Given that it was their family name, he questioned why Brooke was having trouble with it. According to Katie, Brooke was not only unhappy but also demanded that the name be changed right now. Bill agreed with Liam that Brooke wasn't right in this case. He urged his new bride to proceed without allowing them to affect her. Liam pondered whether her prospective influence in the sector posed a threat to Ridge and Brooke. Katie still had self-doubt. In the industry, she described herself as a nobody. Bill believed that this was just another instance of Brooke taking advantage of Katie. He would not allow her sister to mistreat her. Liam was instructed by Bill to obtain the Logan trademark as soon as possible. Bill assured Katie that Liam was attempting to obtain the trademark, but Katie couldn't understand why Brooke would micromanage the name. The trademark for the name Logan expired a year earlier. It was for sale, and Bill urged him to get it as soon as possible. Officially, the race had begun. Back at Forrester, Brooke questioned Ridge about whether or not she was the bad guy. She preferred a different name for the business. Brooke was concerned that this might lead to a rift within the family, and felt sorry for Donna for being caught in the crossfire. Ridge reassured her that once Katie made the decision to change the name, everything would be all right. Ridge was content to help Katie as long as she complied. Before Katie proceeded with naming her fashion houses Logan, Ridge and Brooke begged Carter to assist them in stopping her. He was taken aback at first, but he immediately went into lawyer mode. He was positive that Katie would not be allowed to use the Logan name, since it was a trademark infringement. Carter set out to make sure there would be no problems and that they still owned the brand. For many years, Brooke said Ridge, she was the only Logan working in the fashion industry. Katie had no right to abruptly exploit the name and take advantage of her. While Carter looked into the name's status, Brooke ranted about why it wasn't acceptable for Katie to borrow Logan's name. It wasn't that deep because Ridge didn't believe Katie posed a threat to their business. Brooke and Ridge were terrified when Carter realized the trademark had expired. Time was of the essence, but Ridge wanted Carter to retrieve it. Carter and Liam raced at precisely the same time in the hopes of winning, not realizing that Liam was also attempting to register the trademark. Elektra wanted Will to present his work at the beach house and explain why he believed Dylan to be homeless. He clarified that everything she owned was in her car. Will reassured Elektra that it was different, but she didn't think there was enough evidence to draw that conclusion. Dylan's automobile was packed with everything she possessed. Elektra refused to accept that she was homeless and speculated that she might be moving. If it were true, Elektra believed Dylan would have told her. She listed all of Dylan's advantages that made her homelessness seem a little unlikely. Elektra agreed with Will, who felt bad and wanted to support her. In addition to wondering how long Dylan had been homeless, Elektra also wondered if she had been homeless for the whole time they had been friends. Elektra hoped that Dylan's institution had a program that would enable her to start over. Although she was aware of the high cost of rent in Los Angeles, she didn't anticipate Dylan becoming impoverished. Dylan hesitated outside the home as she considered going inside. Inside, Will and Elektra thought they could let Dylan stay to help, at least for that evening. Unaware of the discussion concerning her life's condition occurring inside, Dylan took a shower outside. Will went back inside and researched the rising number of homeless people in the region. Dylan continued to take a shower outside after what seemed to be a public service announcement about homelessness, implying that this was her first actual shower in a long time. After taking a shower, Dylan overheard Will and Elektra talking about how she was living in her car. With her continuous predicament, Elektra was determined to find a method to support a friend. She was unaware of the extent of the homelessness crisis among college students. They wanted to support their friend because this was far more important than Dylan. She attempted to minimize Dylan's arrival by claiming it wasn't what it appeared to be. Elektra reassured her and expressed their want to support her during this difficult time. They were concerned. She inquired about Dylan's well-being, but when Will saw the condition of her automobile, Dylan felt ashamed. Dylan's attempt to obtain an apartment failed, and she was had to vacate her hotel room after running out of money. Is Dylan's risky crush just as crazy as Luna? By providing Dylan with a place to sleep, Little Bill believed he was being a good Samaritan, but he will later come to regret it. Below are spoilers for what will happen on the CBS soap opera next week. After conducting some investigation, Will Spencer discovered that Dylan had been residing in her vehicle. He urged Elektra Forrester to invite the struggling art instructor to stay the night at the beach house because he felt sorry for her. According to teasers for Bold and the Beautiful, the threesome's new living arrangement will soon become unpleasant. Dylan may be seen watching Will Spencer Jr. in the shower, while hiding in the shadows in a peek for next week. She has undoubtedly noticed how attractive Dollar Bill's son is. It won't be long until Dylan starts making advances on Will if Elektra, and will show sympathy for her, and move her in more permanently. There are rumors that red flags will soon appear since Dylan has a few loose screws. She may possibly be Luna Nozawa, according to some enthusiasts. It's difficult to determine whether Dylan is merely a scam artist, secretly infatuated with Elektra's boyfriend, or working with Luna Nozawa. However, there is undoubtedly a problem with Will and Elektra's new roommate. It's unfortunate that Will and Elektra's bond has withstood Killer Luna and Stalker Remy, but a homeless art instructor is poised to destroy it. Do you believe Dylan will make an attempt to have sex with Elektra's partner? Can Will Spencer fall in love with the homeless art instructor? The Bold and the Beautiful update. Ridge's pet name for Brooke is insulted by Katie. By Heather Hughes on Remarks. Comment on television spoilers soap opera, The Bold and the Beautiful 52. The vibrant and gorgeous update. Ridge's pet name for Brooke is insulted by Katie. According to the latest spoilers on The Bold and the Beautiful, Katie Logan Spencer will make fun of Ridge Forrester's pet name for Brooke Logan Forrester. There will be further stress because Bill Spencer will also receive a warning. First, it appears like Brooke will ask Katie for some alone time on Monday's B&B show, so she may attempt to speak with her sister privately. Katie will keep resisting Brooke's repeated arguments about why she can't use Logan for her fashion brand. Because of the Logan portion of her name, Katie will believe that Brooke is overstating how famous she is. Katie won't understand why she can't use Logan for her own business, as Brooke typically loves to emphasize that she is now a Forrester. In fact, Katie will criticize Brooke and turn Logan into a pet name that Ridge uses. Brooke will become more and more enraged since Katie isn't giving up. Ridge will caution Bill about the potential legal repercussions of this. Regardless of Katie and Bill's feelings, Ridge will contend that Forrester has a Logan trademark, most likely from the Belief formula's early days. But when Liam Spencer and Carter Walton learn that the Forresters had allowed the trademark to expire, it will eventually be questioned. Dylan might be caught between being appreciative and wondering why Will Spencer is treating her so well in the interim. Dylan may conclude that Will has uncovered her homeless secret, since she is intelligent enough to see what is happening. Electra Forrester will quickly reassure Dylan since she doesn't want him to feel ashamed or like a burden. In Will's guest house, Dylan will benefit from the conveniences of a clean bed and a pleasant shower. If Will allows her to stay until she can afford a house of her own, it might be Dylan's first restful night's sleep in a long time. Sadly, Will's attempt to assist Dylan might not work out. All of this could lead to another fixation story, so we'll keep you informed of any disturbing developments. According to previews on The Bold and the Beautiful, Will and Electra might encounter some unexpected Dylan surprises. Make CDL your go-to source for Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, news, and updates. Carter accuses Bill of being responsible for the fallout between Katie and Brooke after Bill confronts Ridge. We wanted to highlight that the writing for Bold and Beautiful has changed, and it's for the better. We seem to have moved on to themes like the current Brooke versus Katie for the company name rather than Brooke versus Katie over a guy, as opposed to the years-long repetition of conversation and the recurring plotlines of Brooke versus Taylor for Ridge's attention. We prefer to see knocking heads like this. It is entirely business-related and has nothing to do with a man. In the meantime, a new plot involving Miss Dylan, who Will thinks is homeless and lives in her car, is developing. We can see that she is also attracted to Will in the promo for next week. It's a combination of a significant social issue and perhaps another narrative about mental health. We'll see how this develops. From her room above the garage, Dylan keeps an eye on Will. Your husband calls you by the pet name Logan, Katie informs Brooke. Ridge is correct. As Katie rolls her eyes, Bill remarks, they have the trademark. When Brooke bans Katie from using the name Logan for her business, they clash. Will informs Electra that he thinks Dylan is destitute.